Lay down my sword and shield. Tell me when you're. January 7th. An extraordinary time and moment in the history of our country. I'm going to do a little bit of what started out to be a slave song. Kind of taking some of Pete Seeger's words on this. I think there's some different verses around. Well, I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside. By the riverside, I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study war no more. Oh, I ain't gonna study war no more. War no more. No, I ain't gonna study war no more. Well, I'm gonna shake hands with every man and woman down by the riverside. Shake hands with every woman and man down by the riverside. Oh, I'm gonna shake hands with every man and woman down by the riverside. And I ain't gonna study war no more. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here. I am grateful that I have heat in my house, that I have food in the fridge. So thank you for those things. I'm going to start with a quote that I'm going to probably say again at the end of the show. James Baldwin said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." And that's where I am today. You know, I want this show to be inspiring, and I want this show to be uplifting, and that's really what's in my heart. And today, I just want this show to reflect how I feel, in the hopes that, you know, it will reflect how some of you feel. And I'm just going to kind of tell some things as I see them, as I think they are. And we also, you know, we have some great people coming on to share some stuff with us today. So all is good. But so anyway, I'm not pussyfooting around some stuff today. Yourself. There's probably a bunch of ways to do that. I use Snopes.com for a lot of my fact checking. I get a daily thing from them, and it's got a lot of interesting stuff, not just the big headlines. Find a way that seems to be not too biased if you can. You owe it to yourself. Find a way to check facts, and before you retweet and repost, take a pause and take a few breaths. And come back to your center and just ask yourself, do I need to check this? Do I need to fact check before I share, before I spread, whatever it is? Good, bad, indifferent recipes. You know, just... I'm going to read something my friend Amy White posted this morning. It's an excerpt from the Boston Globe. Do not call what's happening in Washington a protest. It's a white supremacist insurrection, a seditious attack on democracy. This riot is yet another battle in a civil war that has never ended. One that generations of white people have waged through lynchings, murder, intimidation, oppression, odious policies, and systemic racism. This is what President Trump wanted. He never cared about America, and he'd rather watch this nation burn than see it led by anyone else. And of course, the blame for this riot cannot end at the Oval Office. May it forever stain every Republican who refused to acknowledge Joe Biden as the president-elect. Let it shroud every GOP legislator who turned Trump's loser pity party into a pointless effort to thwart the will of 81 million people voting. Speak with shame the names of the men and women who fought against democracy and tried to prevent voter engagement, tried to pervert voter engagement into voter fraud. Voter engagement into voter fraud. They own this horror, each and every one of them. You know, I heard, I just wanted to read that. It's not normally something I would read, but I wanted to read it. That's how I see it. Somebody this morning on the radio, I heard on the radio, referred to the group of people that broke into the Capitol yesterday, the result of which killed 4 people. Refer to them as lawless thugs. And I just, you know, to me that's just a kind of a crock of crap. They are domestic terrorists. So what I'm going to do today for the rest of my stories today is I'm going to talk about a couple of black women, quite a few actually, who have been doing amazing things to help heal and put back together this broken country. And we're going to start with Stacey Abrams. You mostly know about Stacey. There's a great article that you have a link to called Meet the Black Women Who Turned Georgia Blue. So, it was Stacey, but don't forget about Nisei, Helen, Tamika, Melanie, Latosha, and Deborah. So we're going to spend a little time introducing you to those ladies. Why did a deep South state like Georgia finally go blue while others that pollsters predicted to flip stayed solidly red? Although much of the media has rightfully praised Stacey Abrams and the organizations plural, organizations she founded: Fair Fight Action, New Georgia Project, Fair Count, for playing a crucial role in helping flip Georgia this election. She did not do it alone. Let's meet the squad that worked alongside her. So in the run-up to the 2020 presidential election, the New Georgia Project sent over 1.2 million text messages. That's a lot of text messages. 2.2 million phone calls, and knocked on over 370,000 doors to motivate voters to register to vote and get to the polls. And while Abrams founded the organization, it is run by Nicole Ufot. Let's meet Nicole. And I'm probably saying your name wrong, and forgive me. She is the executive director of both the New Georgia Project and its political arm, the New Georgia Project Action Fund. Ufo emigrated from Nigeria to Atlanta as a kid, graduated from the Georgia Institute of Technology and University of Dayton Law School, and was previously an executive at Canada's largest faculty union and a lobbyist for the American Association of University Professors. And she has been working her butt off. Another Black female leader to whom we all owe a massive debt of gratitude is Melanie Campbell of the National Coalition on Black Participation, or NCBCP, which has been vigilant in helping citizens vote with minimal barriers this election. Campbell is president of the nonpartisan NCBCP and convener of the Black Women's Roundtable, a program centered on harnessing Black women's voting power to influence policy around the issues that matter most to them. Campbell has worked for more than a decade on voter enfranchisement, community engagement, and voter registration, and is recognized as one of the hardest working servant leaders in today's civil rights, women's rights, and social justice movement. Thank you, Melanie. Then there is Tamika Atkins of Pro Georgia. Pro Georgia is Georgia's state-based nonpartisan voter engagement advocacy organization. They do the work to increase vote share of historically underrepresented and socially responsible voters in Georgia, and provide member groups with critical tools, resources, and services to enhance and improve their voter contact work. She's also at the head of the Women of Color Initiative, which supports women of color in policymaking and leadership positions to strengthen all of Georgia. We strive to support the self-determination and leadership of women of color in their development of statewide policy agendas. Thank you, Tamika. Latosha Brown is a co-creator of the Black Voters Matter Fund, an electoral organizing group that keys in on voter registration, policy advocacy, and organizational development and training. Their hands-on program, like a warrant clinic that helps, that's really sad that I said Walmart, that like a warrant clinic that helps people clear warrants and fines they can't afford. That's mega awesome, and lifts barriers to employment, housing, and voting at the most fundamental level. Sorry for fumbling on that, Latosha. And let's not forget Deborah Scott of Georgia Stand Up, which played a massive role in educating voters and getting them registered to vote in this historic election. Georgia Stand Up is an alliance of community, labor, and faith organizations that promote economic justice and smart growth strategies through research, education, and advocacy. So thank you, ladies, all of you. I just thought it would be really nice to get some names and faces to some of the other women that have worked tirelessly to bring about some of the change that we are on the cusp of. So that is that. Now we're going to pivot to a completely different. We're going to pivot to Jude Gold, who is actually going to be one of my fellow instructors in the Guitar Symposium Positive Grid sponsored deep dive coming up January 16th. So, yeah. So, you guys, I've been talking about Guitar Symposium, and I know you know. God, I have so many things on my head. I know you know all about it. But we do, every other month, we do a deep dive, which is a one-day event on a particular subject. Now, this is a deep dive. The whole thing, the whole Guitar Symposium, you might think is for guitarists, and yes, it is. But this is going to be so interesting because we're going deeply. Each one of the four of us instructors, that was really poor English, I think, are heading down deep into one particular guitar hero, or Shiro in my case. And you're gonna, you'll be introduced to some of the techniques of that person, but you'll also hear some cool history and trivia and just some fun facts. It'll be really a load of fun. It's a day-long thing. And Jude is somebody who, I've known him in the periphery for many years. I met him in a really odd kind of way, which I'll tell you in a moment. But I want to just tell you a little bit about Jude Gold, because he's a mega guitar player. He's on his website. It says guitarist, guitar journalist, guitar educator. He is all of those things. Lead guitarist of the iconic rock group Jefferson Starship, by the way. Shoot. Jude has played 5 continents, 20 countries, and 49 of the 50 United States. Why not 50? Anyway, we'll ask him that. But before that, Jude toured with other headliners, including TV star Kristen Chenoweth, guitar virtuoso Greg Howe, bass extravaganza BX3 featuring Stu Hamm, Billy Sheehan, and Jeff Berlin. Whoa. And on and on and on. Fun fact about Jude, Rock Hall of Famer Grace Slick co-wrote a song, It's About Time, with Jefferson Starship lead singer Kathy Richardson and Jude. Huh? Very cool. Hear it on the 2020 Jefferson Starship EP, Mother of the Sun. He's also released solo music of his own, original stuff. He is also the LA editor of Guitar Player magazine. And so he's just going to talk a little. Come on, Jude. Come the heck out here already. Shut me up. I can't hear you.
Vicki,
there you are.
What's up, Guitar Shiro?
What? Right? Right? Well,
good to see you again.
It's early.
I got to tell people that, after a day like yesterday, which, obviously was wonderful with Georgia and those heroes down there, and then all the calamity that happened, I started off my morning today on your Spotify, and I'm telling you, I'm not just saying this to flatter, it like improved my mood. It's like head clearing, and any day of the year, no matter what's going on in the world, I recommend Vicki Genfan Listening Party.
You're the best. Thank
that
you
song,
so
Joy. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll always have a special love for you, Jude, because you picked my tape out of the Guitar Player magazine Superstar Competition box full of tapes to be a finalist back in 2008. And I'll always appreciate you for that, for just honing in on what I was doing.
Yeah, that was a great moment. Yeah, they gave us each a box. So there's like 5 boxes, each of the 5 editors. I was like, I got the winner right here. I'm just saying it right now. I was like, for the record, I'm boasting the claim that this is going to win this performance from Vicki. Where were you coming from then?
I was living in New Jersey.
So yeah, we flew you out, right?
You flew me out to San Francisco. That
I'm
was
glad,
one crazy.
glad you said that.
One crazy night. Yep. Sound check alone was like, all these mega shred guitarists, and it's like, oh my God, what am I doing here? What am I doing here?
Oh, no pressure. I really felt for you guys, because I can't remember who the judges were your year, but it could have been like Joe Satriani.
It was Joe. It was Steve Vai. It was Elliot Easton. It was George Lynch.
George, these are phenomenal guitar heroes, guitar gods, and to go up there and play with all their eyes on you, and then a room of like 600 guitar nerds on you, and then 9 other competitors.
Yeah.
Not that it's really a competition, but we all feel self-conscious when we have a bunch of guitar players on the side watching. I really had respect for you guys doing that contest.
Crazy shit. Hey, tell us a little bit about what your deep dive is about and why you think you should be doing Van Halen, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, this Van Halen thing is like, for a lot of us, the disciples of, not a disciple, I never met him, but for those of us who have been profoundly affected by his music for all our lives, it's just, it's a calling. I don't feel like it's a gig or anything. It's like, just, gosh, I have to do this. I feel like it's part of the mourning process, as we've lost one of the greatest guitar players of all time. I mean, for me, it's always a joy to talk about him, because I've been, messing around with his licks for probably 39 years or something. And And there's so much you can say. He just really was a true innovator. Every technique that was out there and available to him, and like starting in the mid 70s, he didn't just take it up one notch. He took it up 3 or 4. Like he just was next level in so many ways. Like there's this echo piece that people used to use echoes with a dotted eighth delay, but he incorporated his volume knob. I don't know if you can hear this. Is that coming through?
Yeah.
And he just took it to another level. And I was trying to think, Vicki's probably heard Hot for Teacher and Jump in Panama. Has she heard this one? This is like another side of Eddie Van Halen. It's really...
Ollie, are we not seeing your right hand?
Oh, well, sorry about
That's like
that.
part of it. Just do it.
This one's involved. That's the volume knob right there. Yeah, you're just doing the volume knob action, right?
Oh, wow. Woo! That's cool.
So he just, I mean, people used to do that in the 60s with the echo like that.
Yeah.
With 2 tape recorders, they use a separate reel and time it to where it was repeating exactly the dotted eighth. But that's just one of many techniques. Yeah, you should try it on a banjo. It would be cool.
I'm going to install my volume knob there later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
what
I
else
mean,
are you going to show folks in our little deep dive? You only have an hour to do it. That's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the hardest. But, you know, I've been doing this stuff forever now. I'm changing echo pedal setting. But, I mean, for me, right now, I don't have the Van Halen guitar on, but I do have like a red, white, and striped thing that I'll be using. But there's just so many ways like that he impacted my playing too. So maybe like just the harmonics, like he used to do, he was someone who really pioneered using, for example, tapped harmonics, right?
Right.
A little less distortion. I've used that stuff so much myself, and I've taken it in my own direction thanks to him. Like I mixed it with the slap bass. So one thing that might be interesting is just like I play chords that way, almost like a slap bass player, but mixed with a little Eddie Van Halen. Like my friend, he's like, dude, I got these chords. They go like this. It's like, how do you play them? So for me,
move the camera down just a little bit. I want to see your right hand.
So, the right hand will be on the neck.
All right. Yeah.
You're a percussive player, so I know you resonate with some of this stuff. No pun intended.
Yeah, I do that shit. That's cool.
I love it. And then like, you know, just like for me, like check this out. Okay, let's get music nerdy here. Here's a triplet thing. That's sort of groove, right? So you can get like really fast triplets kind of.
Yeah.
So for me, that's probably stuff that's where I'll end up on the Van Halen is all the way over there. But we'll go through just all his contributions to rock and pop guitar, and
nice.
And it's just endless. Like with you're going to be doing Joni Mitchell, and how do you do it in 1 hour or an hour and a half? It'll fly by. So.
Hell if I know. I'll let you know on the 16th because it's like, you know, trying to distill. But I think one of the important things, like you're mentioning, is, you know, we all have heroes or Shiros. We're all inspired by different things, even outside of the music world. You know, we all have inspirational influences. And the cool thing about that is we're inspired by somebody, but we always run it through our own filter. And so we take some juicy thing from another human or from nature for that matter, and we run it through our own system, and then it comes out in its unique way, you know, and that to me is just kind of one of the juiciest things of life. So I'm going to have to cut you short because we got to keep moving today, but you all check out guitarsymposium.com. You can read all about Jude. You can read about all the instructors, Jennifer Batten, Gretchen Menn, Jude Gold, myself, for the upcoming deep dive, January 16th. Still time to register. We want to see you there. It'll be cool. Thank you, Jude. You are amazing. Can't wait to sit in on your Van Halen thing.
Likewise. Thanks for having me, Vicki.
You
Pleasure.
bet.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Peace. Peace out.
Peace out.
Oh, Jude Gold, an awesome dude. Love getting to know him more. So without further ado, we're going to have some weather report from our favorite weather woman, Kelly Bedwell. Come on, girl. Hey.
Good afternoon. This is Kelly Bedwell reporting to you from WKFU, your Brooklyn weather station. Okay, so honestly, I don't really know that much about the weather today because yesterday really threw me and I didn't do anything. So, except watch the television. Now, I woke up really happy because the Democrats took both Senate seats in Georgia. And then all hell broke loose. And you know, I'm not going to say anything about it, but I just thought that display yesterday was hideous and full of hate. And, you know, a woman got killed. Yes, she was there where she wasn't supposed to be, but, you know, I kind of feel sorry for these people because they're basically brainwashed and being told a lot of lies. And I don't know why they shot her. I saw the video. She didn't really do anything and basically watched her die. So this has gone too far. Now, I also put out on Facebook that if both Democrats win, then I'm going to sing Georgia on My Mind on Facebook Live, thinking, that'll never happen. Guess what? I'm going to be singing Georgia on My Mind on Facebook Live in a few days, or streaming, or however taste says I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to do it. Yes, I sing. So I want to report to the Trump supporters that on January 20th, right after that, we are going to paint the White House rainbow colors. And we're going to put a Planned Parenthood on every corner. And we're going to do a lot of stuff. Oh, stuff. You're going to have to eat Mexican food for the rest of your life. We're going to take that wall down. So I'm not allowed to curse or anything, and I'm not going to, because you know what? I'm happy. We have the House of Representatives. We have the Senate. We have the White House. So guess what? Democrats are going to make the rules as of January 20th. And that's all I have to say. And okay, one more thing. I was supposed to go to the Brooklyn Botanic Garden today. And when I looked outside, it was cold and windy. And I'm kind of a baby, so I didn't go. But it's cold. It's windy. I mean, if it's 40 degrees, I'm like, I'm not going out. If it's 85 degrees, I'm not going out. So I don't know what kind of weather person I really am, but this is what I do now for a living. So, Vicki, I appreciate everything you said. And you know what else? You are a mofo kick-ass guitar player.
Thank you.
And that's it. This is Kelly Bedwell reporting to you from Georgia, Georgia. I'm not going to sing it like that. WKFU, New York City. All right. I laugh at my own jokes.
We love
okay,
you,
cut me off.
Cut that girl off. Oh my God. It's Kelly. All right, folks. We got a really special guest coming on for our musical segment. And I'm going to read a little bit about Melanie DeMore. I should be hearing an echo. Should I be hearing an echo? Okay, better. So read a little bit about Melanie before I bring her out. Born in the Bronx. Hey, I was born in the Bronx. Raised in Anchorage. I was not raised in Anchorage. Folks moved all 5 kids to San Antonio, finished school, got out of Texas, kind of got off on being the only black folk singer in Taos, New Mexico, then decided to get back into the mix, took all her stuff, and moved to Oakland, where she's been for the last 21 years. Actually, Mel and Tracy Chapman had a good laugh one day in San Francisco where they finally met and realized folks had them mixed up all the time. They still do. Every town Melanie traveled became her teacher and an opportunity to hone her craft as a songwriter, troubadour, and an emissary of tolerance, kindness, harmony through the sound of her golden voice. She's a founding member of the Grammy-nominated vocal ensemble Linda Tillery and the Cultural Heritage Choir. Hey, come on, Mel, say hey to everybody. Thank you for being with us.
To be here with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that we're here together. And by the way, folks
Yes.
out there, I was at that competition in San Francisco when Vicki tore the roof off the place.
Sorry, we're having an explosion here.
I understand that.
We got someone knocking at the door, Tay. Did you hear that? Okay. Hold tight.
Okay.
Hold tight. It's good to know we got protection here.
Yeah, oh, do not mess with that dog.
Okay. It's a friend, but we got to get back to work here.
Yeah.
And you got to let the dog in. Okay, because she'll just wander aimlessly. Mel, start over.
Oh, okay. So, hi, everybody. And I want to say that I was actually there when Vicki tore the roof off of the guitar thing. I was there.
You were, sweetie.
I totally was there. And you know what's really quick? I was standing there in line, and the line was around the block in San Francisco, and they said, one guy said to me, "Oh, who are you here?" I said, "I'm here to." He said, "Who are you here to see?" And I said, "Oh, Vicki Genfan." And he said, "There's a chick in this thing?" I said, "There's a woman in this thing." He said, "Can she play?" I said, "Mm-hmm." It was so exciting. Me and Tay were standing in the back. Yes!
I was going to say, you and Tay were the only ones I knew
Yeah.
in that whole room. Thank
That's
God
right.
you're both there, because that was intimidating. I have to
It
say.
was intimidating, and the thing is that, you left it all on the stage, and folks were like, what has just happened here? And I was next to the same guy who said there's a chick in this thing, and he was like, wow. I said, mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for remembering that with us. But what a great gift to have you with us today. There's a million things to ask you about, but why don't you just talk to us about some of the stuff you've been doing as of late? Because I know things have been really intense in your world.
It's been very, very intense. I've been doing a lot of singing online. I've sung for a lot of memorials. I've done some things for Black Lives Matter. I've been like the guest music minister for Presbyterians, Catholics, UUs, Jewish people, and Methodists. So, and people say, well, how can you do that? And I say, well, my work is spiritually based, not religiously based. So I got you. And right now, people are really needing this. And Vic, I know that when we get back to whatever our new normal is, that there are going to be droves and droves of people wanting to be a part of choirs all across this country. And I know it. Because people are hungry for that connection. And I really think that artists like yourself and all these other folks out there that are doing music, we are essentially essential workers. This is what's helping people keep their heads above the slime.
Yeah.
And stay connected.
Yeah.
And so, we have all of these incredible people who are just working their asses off right now, all the nurses and the doctors, just burned out, but they're still doing their work. And they are essential workers for our physical well-being. And we are essential workers for our spiritual well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. Mel, you've done some incredible conducting work. I can't remember exactly, but after 9/11, you were involved in some of the really big choral.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Church
I was.
events.
Well, let me just. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. I disappeared for a moment.
Otherworldly.
I'm back. Yes. Yeah, I was got to conduct with Trinity Wall Street Choir and Julian Wapner for the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
Wow.
It was an extraordinary experience, and to be there at that time, because most folks may not know that Trinity Wall Street and their sister church, they were less than, I mean, they're literally on the same block as the towers. And they took care of all the folks and the first responders down there. And neither church got a scratch on them pretty much. You know, so to be a part of that with the Young People's Chorus of New York City and the Washington Chorus and Trinity Wall Street, it was an extraordinary experience.
Yeah. I only got to see it on video, but I can imagine the feeling in the room, you know.
It was
What a special.
it was extraordinary, and I was very lucky because I was the only conductor that sang, conducted the choir and the orchestra and the audience. So it was very exciting.
Yeah.
And that's my whole thing, is to people to raise their voices together. It's really important.
Tell us why the voice is so amazing and special and so healing.
Well, you know, to me, the first song that everyone sings is that first sound that they make when they're born. That is really your first song.
That cry.
And, you know, and yeah, that's your first song. And to me, people say, well, I can't sing. I say, you know what, look, the only qualification that you need to have in order to be singing with me and singing in the world is be breathing.
Amen.
That's it. It's to be breathing. And anybody that tells you, you can't sing, blah, 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 mouth the words, they're doing you a disservice. You know, maybe that's not the way you're going to make your living, but there is nothing more incredible than raising your voice with other people.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that's gotten us through every major movement in this country. The civil rights movement would not have happened without that music. I would not be standing here without the music that my ancestors used as food, because songs are food and nourishment.
Sure.
And we all have songs that help us come back to ourselves, and that's what I do.
Absolutely. Could you tell us a little bit about, I know I want to have you play some music, but I'm
I'm cool.
I'm
Whatever
like,
you wanna do,
I got all these things I want to ask you.
Whatever.
Tell us a little bit about Gullah stick pounding.
Oh, well, so folks can see behind me, these are sticks that belong to a particular choir that I was working with in San Francisco, the San Francisco LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ choir. There's space for everybody at my table. Thank you very much. And so when I work with a group, part of our process of making these sticks is the creation of it. And you see how they all have the glittery thing there? That represents their agreement to be part of the same family.
Okay.
Because the Gullah people, the Sea Islands from around Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, those folks that were enslaved there were separate from the mainland. So they were able to keep a lot of the African traditions. And most people were stolen from around the area of Sierra Leone. And so, of course, drums were taken. They were stolen, and not just stolen because they were considered not human beings, but because of their expertise. The cash crops on the Sea Islands was rice. They knew how to grow rice. So they had rice and indigo of course, is what makes your jeans blue. And so they were able to keep a lot more African traditions because they were separate from the mainland.
Wow.
And all the slave quarters were up on stilts because they were on islands. And so they would take broom handles and hoe handles and pound it on the floor, stomp on the floor. So there was stompers, hand clappers, and pounders. And so I'm the only person who does large productions. Usually it's one or two people that pound. And my biggest one was, I have a stick pounding piece called Freedom Land with 250 people pounding, and they're 4-foot dowels.
I just
Yeah.
watched that video the
Oh,
other day. It's just
cool.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So I now, over the years, I've probably had my stick pounding peace army probably has about 2,500 people in it so far. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And you're gonna do a stick pounding piece.
Yeah, we'll do a
later
little
on.
thing later on, sure.
Yeah. Well, why don't you start with a song?
Yeah. Well, in lieu of what's been going on just forever in this country, I mean, as a black person in this beautiful black skin, it is terrifying right now to be an American citizen. It just is. And I realized yesterday with all that madness that if it had been a black crowd, first of all, they would have been lined up on the thing in riot gear before we even got there.
That's right.
That's right. And there were 4 people that unfortunately lost their lives. It would have been a whole lot more had it been black people, and that's just the truth.
It is the truth.
And the thing is that every time something like this happens, with George Floyd, and it just re-traumatizes all of us over and over again. It's like just the injustice of the constant belittling, the constant disappearing of who we are. And to know, and this song has really been calling to me a lot, and everybody knows it. And actually, most people don't know that this song is actually a Gullah spiritual from the Sea Islands.
Wonderful.
And I'll sing this for you, and you must make me a pledge that you will never, ever, ever use the phrase a kumbaya moment. It has nothing to do with the song. All around our wounded planet, folks are on their knees, looking to their gods and asking, can you help us please? How do we get so far away from the love you gave? What happened to the light and love? Hear us as we pray. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Oh Lord, come by here. 'Cause we are crying, Lord, come by here. We are crying, my Lord, please come by here. We are crying, my Lord, come by here. Oh Lord, come by here. For our children, Lord, come by here. For our children, my Lord, come by here. For our children, my Lord, come by here. Oh Lord, come by here.
gorgeous, Mel. Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking yesterday about superheroes and the kinds of things we need to take care of ourselves. You know, how do we really take care of ourselves? Like you said, physically, mentally, spiritually, heart. I just wondering what are some things that you do that you've had to really be sure to do to take care of yourself during this time, this crazy time.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of the important things is to look around the things in your house that give you joy. And we all have them around and we don't pay attention to it. And so I know that every now and then I have to rely on one of my favorite superheroes, Wakanda Forever.
Ah, yes, ma'am.
And then, you know, when things get really bad, I have to pull out my Black Panther action figures. Because you know what? These are crazy times, and crazy times call for costumes.
I agree, and I'm not as together as you are. So right now all I have is my picture, my Wonder Woman picture.
There you go.
But I do need the costume because it's
You
not
know, just even-
quite enough.
yeah.
And
You know, but those kinds of things, to remember those things, you know, all the things that we used to do when we were children and we didn't think about it. I mean, how to rock yourself. You know how kids are.
Oh yeah.
When they feel scared or something, they will rock themselves and they will hum.
Yep. Exactly.
Go back to those things. Go back to those things. And to me, it's really important to acknowledge each and every day what I call the tiny graces. The tiny graces. Those things that of just taking a moment to say, yes, as you're putting that food in your mouth, that there are people who don't have that.
Yep.
You know, that you get up in the morning, you put your feet on the ground. There's some people who can't do that.
Yep.
You know, and whenever somebody pops into my head, I'll call them.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
we need to do that, you know.
Right.
So yeah.
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 Yeah, it's what we got to do.
It is absolutely true. And, you know, it's been really interesting being here in California because we are going through a whole lot of stuff. And a few months ago, you know, when we had the fires and the smoke was unbelievable, Vic. It was, at noontime, the sky was just one shade lighter than me.
Wow.
And the street lights came on.
That's hard
And,
to
you know,
imagine.
It's just so incredible. And the thing is that I walked outside to do my daily walk, and there were people who were just, oh my God, they were so disoriented, and people were kind of like looking around, and I knew that they couldn't feel themselves, you know. And I was looking around, and I said to myself, you know, even though we can't see, I know that there is sun, and that in these times when there's so much garbage and all of this stuff coming at us constantly, we have to go back to what we know. And so I wrote this song. Can I sing it for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, it goes like this. I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. It's not what we see, it's what we know. It's not what we see, it's what we know. And I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. 'Cause it's not what we see, it's what we know. It's not what we see, it's what we know. And I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky.
Yeah, that golden voice, boy. Like your voice just is like honey, you know. It just does this. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Vic.
Yeah. Every bunch of times, Mel will put a song up on her Facebook page, and it's like just drinking in the sun and the moon and the earth and the water. So, continue to visit with Mel after this, because you need some of the stuff she has.
Oh, thanks, Vic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tay. I know you're out there.
Tay's out there. Tay is the behind the scenes woman.
He's a badass mamma jamma, that Tay.
She is. So, Mel, you're gonna end with a stick pounding song for us, and I'm gonna do my best to keep up with you here, play my little
Absolutely.
guitar percussion, and
Excellent.
can't wait.
So this is a song you all know, and this song has been sung at every kind of march and rally. But then when you add the gullah rhythm, it adds a whole other thing. And you all know this song, right? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So there's the gullah rhythm. And the people would have this rhythm, and when the spirit reached them, it would get faster. There'd be energy. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that all around, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on, Vic. Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine.
Yeah. Whoa! You caught me. Yeah. Hey, I kept waiting for you to get really, really, really fast. I was ready, Mel.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was ready. Come on. Hit me. Yeah. I can keep up. That was great.
I know you can. That's it. I know you can.
All right, my friend. I love you to death. Thank you so much for being with us today.
And thanks for having me.
You're the best.
Yeah, thank you. Bless everybody's bones out there.
Absolutely.
Take care of each other.
Absolutely. Mwah. Thank you.
You're welcome, darling.
All right. Woo! Lordy, 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 lordy. Okay. So, we're going to, yeah. You've got Melanie's info on the links. What time is it, Tay? How are we doing with time here?
It is 12:54.
Okay, we got 6 minutes. One of the other wonderful black women that I've been learning more about and been found inspiration from is a wonderful woman named Nicole Cardoza. And she is an award-winning serial social and entrepreneur, investor, author, and public speaker making wellness accessible for everyone. Nicole's work is 100% dedicated to closing the racial and socio-economic divides in the wellness industry, which she has done by investing more than $3 million in direct funding programs and other resources into communities that need it the most. She's been recognized as one of the most influential change makers in wellness by Forbes, Well Plus Good, and Wanderlust, and routinely speaks on social impact, equity, and health at foundations such as the Aspen Institute, universities such as Harvard, and Fortune 500 companies, including Nike and Lululemon. Obviously, she's a yoga teacher and a yoga practitioner. And I found out, I can't tell you exactly how I found out about her, but here's a few of the things that she has founded. And this is, I know her through the Anti-Racism Daily, which is a daily newsletter with actions and education to dismantle white supremacy with over 60,000 subscribers. It's literally called Anti-Racism Daily. And I really, really encourage you to check it out. It's got a lot of really interesting stuff in it and educational, really educational. Nicole is also the founder of Yoga Foster, a nonprofit providing yoga resources, training, and yoga mats, to over 100,000 students in 4,000 elementary school classrooms each year. I love that. In partnership with Lululemon and Core Power Yoga. And she is also the founder of Reclamation Ventures, a venture fund that invests in high potential, underestimated entrepreneurs making wellness more accessible, that has reinvested over $2.5 million from the wellness industry into communities that need it most. So I am honored and thrilled to have had the opportunity to share some of these people with you today. And that's really it. That's going to end the show. I'm going to end the show with two quotes, one of which I started the show with, by James Baldwin. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. And here we are. We are, oh, that was actually went with the Nicole's thing. So here we are. We are facing what needs to be changed. And finally, from John Lewis, our beloved John Lewis, ours is not the struggle of one day, 1 week, or 1 year. Ours is not the struggle of one judicial appointment or presidential term. Ours is the struggle of a lifetime, or maybe even many lifetimes. And each one of us in every generation must do our part. Thanks for being with us today. Thanks to Tay Hoyle sitting there, turning my knobs and making things work, bringing everybody in. Thanks to Melanie DeMore. Thanks to Jude Gold. Thanks to Guitar Symposium, Guitar Cloud Symposium, Positive Grid, and all of our sponsors. Thanks to our dog Lucky. Thanks to you for coming back and listening, share this with your friends. Let everybody know we are here every Thursday so that we can continue to do this stuff and stay connected. Peace out. Love to everyone. See you next week.